This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're traveling back to Eternia so we can look at the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon collection. Prince Adam, heroic secret identity of He-Man, what a great way to be known, and Cringer, the heroic secret identity of Battle Cat. I've watched the series. I'm sure some of you have watched the series, if not most of you or all of you. Heroic is not quite the word I would use with Cringer. Honestly, I think they could have gotten away with going with cowardly secret identity of Battle Cat, and that would have been more accurate. I kind of like this artwork though, in that up here in the top, we see that Skeletor, Triclops, and Evil Lyn are apparently plotting some kind of kidnapping for Prince Adam and or Cringer. Probably Prince Adam, because they won't give a crap about Cringer. Cringer, on the other hand, is just kind of staring at the butterfly there. Although I'll bet you he'll jump if the butterfly lands on him. But this is not apparently the only kidnapping plot going on here, because when you turn the box to this side, you see the Horde's imp also watching Prince Adam and Cringer. On the other side, I do not remember what that thing is called, but I do vaguely recall it from the show. On the back of the box, however, we do see our usual heroic Prince Adam relifting the sword, calling down the power of Grayskull with Cringer cringing behind him. Although I don't normally comment on the look of the art. Well, I guess I do technically, but I really like the way they have Prince Adam's face here. He definitely looks very, very much stoic and heroic. However, the one questionable element on this bit of artwork, and I'm sorry to whoever did it, but I think having the Zoar Falcon flying above while he's calling down the thunder and lightning of transformation, probably not the best idea. I understand why it's been done. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. But anyway, let's open the sucker up. Shit, I just ripped the box too. Dang it. Here we see that you can put his sword in his hand. By that positioning there, I'm wondering if they gave him the up and down articulation. We've got two different head sculpts that can be swapped out. Very stern He-Man head sculpt and a laughing Prince Adam. Wonder if they have the same thing on the other side. Let's go ahead and take a quick look. Yep, same image on the other side. I really wish Mattel would actually put some kind of artwork back here. The basic blue that they've been using is so boring. And to me, Castle Grayskull or even a forest scene would have looked really good. I don't know why, but for some reason this is giving me Scooby-Doo vibes. Alright, let's set Cringer aside for the moment. Prince Adam only comes with his sword, and it appears that his vest may actually just be the same vest from Origins. I did not think to grab the Prince Adam from Origins to double check that with. They did not glue this one down though. And I don't know if that's just that they missed it on this figure or if it's meant to be like that. However, that does mean we can take the vest off a lot easier. And actually, now that I look at it like that, because I have ripped off the vest on the Origins one before, obviously, because in my video for Mossman, he's actually wearing the vest at the end of it. I think that is a whole different holding system. So let me revise that. I don't think this is actually the exact same vest from Origins. He, of course, comes with the Cartoon Collection sword. It is silver, like it should be, and not pink like the Origins one. However, especially if this is a new vest, they did not give us a spot to store the sword on his back, which Prince Adam did have in the series. Well, I guess technically, I think, did he actually just have it in the back of the neck of the vest? But the hand sculpt on this one is new. It does, in fact, have the up and down articulation, and even the positioning of the wrist is different. So, he can, in fact, hold the sword up in the air properly. Let's see how close we can actually get. Wait a minute. Oh my god. My Prince Adam has 2 right biceps. That is not a good thing. What the heck? That sucks. Yeah, I saw this at Target, so I'll have to take a look to see if they actually do have that. If all of them have that, I'll have to take a look. Hey, anybody else who's actually picked up this, let me know. Did you have that same problem, or is this just me? But anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can get Adam in the proper. We can't quite fully get it up over his head, but that is quite possibly the best positioning we will get with the Prince Adam holding the sword. There we go. The bicep screw up is, however, not very cool. I wonder if I can contact Mattel to get that, or if I'll just have to return this one and get an exchange. Guess I'll find out later. Articulation wise, however, again, let's just go over our normal stuff, shall we? Head is on a ball joint and can spin around. Just for a quick comparison, it does appear to be the same head that came with the Cartoon Collection He-Man, same hairdo, different skin tones. We can hinge the arm up and down and spin it. The vest does interfere quite a bit. You can kind of get it there, but not all the way straight up, which of course is probably part of the reason why we can't quite get the proper positioning for the sword. But again, it's better than normal. We've got the hinge at the elbow. We get an almost 90 degrees spin at the wrist, and of course, as mentioned before, we have the up and down articulation here. On the other hand, we have the in and out articulation. I'm surprised they didn't give us a specific hand sculpt for this to try to mimic the hand positioning that they show in the artwork and the show, where his hand's kind of like slightly gripping, but not quite. We do have the standard waist swivel, and that causes the vest to open up. We can kick forward that far. We can kick back that far. And of course, we can split and kick up. Oh. We have the joint at the knee that gives us the somewhat better angle than the original Origins toys do, getting us much closer to that 90. And of course, we can spin the knee if we want. But wait, there's also the boot cut where we can do the 360 spin there. We have the hinge at the ankle and the spin that basically makes it look like we have somewhat of a rocker joint and can reposition the foot as needed for posing. Said, just bring He-Man here out briefly. Yeah, see, I mean, look at those biceps. That is just messed up. Messed up. Otherwise, they're basically using the same sculpt as per normal, only Adam's got the vest instead of the harness. But we do have the second head for Adam here, which has the laughing kind of face. Honestly, I kind of would have liked to have seen a sleeping face instead of or a napping face instead of the quote laughing face. This has been so overdone as a trope lately that it's just kind of ridiculous. I guess at least I didn't do the full mouth open kind of laughter. But let's not forget, Adam is known for his naps. His power naps. And now for the star of the show, our first fully articulated Cringer. And no, I do not consider the Masterverse Revelation Cringer as being fully articulated Cringer because it's giant and it's just the head under the helmet that is Cringerish because the size does not change. However, there is a lot more articulation in this figure than I expected to see. So first off, we've got his basic head sculpt. Just kind of there. We do have the second head sculpt, which is supposed to be the I'm afraid one. And he does have an articulated jaw on that one. But there's not one on the other one. So that's kind of interesting. So I guess not scared, scared, not scared, scared. Anyway, let's take a look at our Cringer. Ball joint at the head gives us the ability to spin it 360. We can look down. We can look up. We can kind of go turn them a little bit sideways to give them that curious as a kitty look. The neck itself has a bunch of jointing. It's a ball joint and a swivel-ish type of setup. So we get a lot more movement in that neck than we get with the head. But that will also kind of allow us to really position the head better too. So we can get kind of a nice look up there or really look down. Whereupon if the head was static, we would pop it off when we try to do that. By the way, this is the way the setup is for the... And this is kind of interesting. It says... It looks like there's more than just a ball joint in there. I don't know how well you can see that. I am not going to try to take the neck apart, though, to get a better look. So the arms can actually hinge out just a little bit. Well, it's not really a hinge, again, it's a ball joint. But they can move out a little. You can move them up. It does get caught at the shoulder. You can move it back around. Again, it does get stuck on the body. So this is about as far as you can move the arm. But that makes sense. We do have a hinge at the elbow. Not quite a 90-degree one, but that makes sense on a cat. And we can spin it on the peg that holds that in place. We also get articulated feet. So we have a hinge and a spin. Now, this is definitely an improvement from the Origins Battle Cats, where they did not have any ankle articulation, and thus when you tried to pose him, you had weird positioning on the feet. Also, the little pads are there. It's kind of a shame they didn't like paint the pads in the orange color too. But there, see if we can kind of position the paw. He can actually, he could do the house cat thing where he licks his paw and fixes his hair. Now there's actually on actual action figures, I'd refer to this as the boob cut. So yeah, Cringer's got a boob cut, ball joint, and he can swivel that all around too. Unfortunately, we can't quite get the hackles up cat look to him. But, you know, it is kind of nice. We do get some spin there, and we can spin him all around and make it look ridiculous. Back legs have even more jointing than the front do because of the way cat legs are positioned. So first off, you can actually get the leg all around. And I don't know if you can hear that, but there is a ratchet in there. He does not, however, have the ability as the other, well, I guess you could say he can kind of move it in, but only when it's down at the bottom. So there's a little bit of in and out there. We got the upper knee joint, which has a hinge, which has got a nice ratchet in there. And we got the bottom knee joint and the ankle joint, which also have hinges. So you can really position his back legs. And of course, they are on pegs as well, so you can spin each of those individual joints if you want. And the tail has a single joint where we have a hinge and a spin. You can crank them like one of those really old cars if you watch like the 20s movies. Or no, God, not even the 20s. Back in like the 1800s, like the Model T, I guess. We had to crank the engine. We'll swap out his head real quick. Do a nice, our best scaredy cat pose for him, and he's actually staying up pretty well. They did a really good job on this Cringer. I'm happy. I hope they I hope they do this for Origins too and give us an Origins Cringer that's a little less cartoony looking. Hmm. Adam can ride Cringer if he really wants to, although that is very awkward looking. The joints are really, really stiff on this one. Yeah, so Adam can, it's just so stupid. Uh, so Cringer does stand much taller than Adam when you stand him up, and he makes an excellent action figure this way if you really want to do it. So yeah, Cringer can do the whole cat thing. I'm sure we've all seen cats try to stay on somebody's neck. Here we go. Anyway, I think this will conclude our stupidity here. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace and love. I just want to note that I think it would have been absolutely hilarious if they had made it so that Cringer's body parts could be popped off and swapped with the regular Origins figures. I'm sure that would have been way too difficult to do, but that would have been hilarious. And now it's time for the battle of the moment, where if Cringer wins, he will not have to turn into Battle Cat. And Cringer lost, so he will have to become Battle Cat again.